Hello, this is IBK Knives, and this is my secondhand review of the GLIDR Arctic Beta. I got this one in the Milky Way color scheme, which is pink and purple. I absolutely adore this aluminum mano. It is incredibly vibrant. This is a very controversial knife. I know most people do not like the feel of it, but honestly, I kind of dig it. Tolerances aren't really very good. It's a $70 aluminum sandwich knife, so you can't really expect much different. It runs on just washers, and no bushings, no bearings, no nothing. But it is honestly a really good trainer in my opinion. So, first of all, the manufacturer. GLIDR made this. GLIDR came into the scene, I think, late 2017, early 2018. I could be wrong. Feel free to fact check me in the comments. These retail for about 80 new. I got mine for 70 because it was basically new when I got it a few weeks ago. And I have been keeping it fairly mint. Of course, it's aluminum though, so it's a very soft handle material, and it likes to get, dented up. I believe that the blade is 154 cm. I could be incorrect though. It's got their blackened coating. I don't know exactly what material the coating is, but it is fairly tough. The only scratch in it's right here. I don't think you can see it. It's on the very tip. It fell tip down onto some tile a few days ago. Anyway, this knife gets quite a bit slippery when your hands are cold or dry, and that's the main issue with people, is how thick the handles feel and how slippery they are. Like, I was just flipping my Valkyria, and this knife feels incredibly different from the Valkyria. The tolerances aren't very great, as I went over, but it gives the knife a really cool feel in its looseness. And I know some very, very high-end flippers that just swear by this knife. Of course, they are a different breed. Most people don't like the weird, slippery, wide feeling that this knife gets. I was surprised by the handle gap when I first got it, because the handle gap is very wide. This is of the same era as the Squid Industries Co. Mako, and that was the first high-end knife I ever owned, was a Mako, and I had it for about 2 years. I absolutely adored it. They feel similar, but they are definitely very different animals to each other. The Squid Industries Mako had a much grippier coating on the handles, and the one I had didn't have an inked coating on it, as far as, at least that's what Squid calls it, the inked series. The hardware in these knives, and in all of GLIDR knives, are phenomenal. As far as I know, I don't know many people who have had a problem with them. It's the same threading as, HOM, most or all of BRS's stuff, except for their folders. It's 6/32 threading, or 6/32, 6x32, or 6/32 of an inch, if that makes sense. So pretty much any hardware kit you buy will fit in this knife. You could probably just straight off buy one off of Squid, and it will just bolt right into this knife. I think I'm thinking about doing that, because Squid has some really cool, titanium colors for their hardware, and these basically take 2 sets of pivot screws. The handles are constructed with the same pivots as, well, the same hardware as the pivots, except the spacers are, spacers and not a blade. So that's pretty much most of the review parts. Here's just some random flipping. I'm going to drop it a few times because I am not warmed up with this knife today whatsoever. Damn, yep, right there. Yep, again. It takes some getting used to, but if you just spend some time with it, it becomes your friend, for sure. It is, I don't buy very many trainers myself. I'm definitely much more of a live blade person. But as far as all the trainers go that I've ever handled, it's between this or, you know, the Squid V3.5 as far as my top-end favorites. And I even had a bare bones trainer for a while, and this outweighs that by far. Stock bare bones trainer is not the easiest on the hands for by any means. Yeah, it's got quite a few nicks, bumps, scratches in it. You're going to with any aluminum knife. Even my Boker automatic has similar bumps and scratches because it's an aluminum handle knife. So yeah, it's fairly bouncy too, I've noticed. And when it's tuned up, it's got, well, mine at least, it has tap on one side, no tap on the other side when it's totally dialed in. If I spend, you know, 5 or 10 minutes just getting the screw tension right and the oil moved around enough. I have yet to do anything to this knife. I have plans for it. I'm thinking about doing satin flats on top, and then so that the cool anno color stays underneath. I don't know what I'm going to do for that though. Scotch-Brite or sandpaper, I'm not sure. It's a very, very basic knife, pretty much as basic as you can get. One set of spacers, one set of screws for the body, one set of screws for the pivots, and washers, and that's literally it. It's got a hidden Zen pins as part of the, you know, construction. I like how tight these Zen pins are because they get a lot of bounce. Now things like the Mako V3s had an issue with the Zen pins getting loose over time. I'm assuming this will have the same issue after a while, but as of now it's not a problem. And I bet that if you emailed GLIDR Co or something and asked specifically for a new set of Zen pins, then they should send them to you. I could be wrong. I don't want to make any concrete statements along that. I've never tried, but GLIDR Co seems to be a fairly cool company, and the person who runs the accounts is, you know, he's a nice guy. He reposts most videos of people flipping on Instagram. These don't come up on the Instagram market very often, just because people buy them and then keep them in their collection forever as beaters, because they're great beaters. Sometimes you get someone who bought a lot of them when they dropped, because when they first dropped, they were on a huge sale. They were super cheap, and people would buy 2 or 3 of them. In fact, that's where I got this one. Someone bought 3 and then sold them just recently. These are still in beta run for some reason. I don't really know why. But this is a GLIDR Co beta run Arctic. I don't think I ever actually said the name of this knife. Well, it'll be in the title, obviously. I'll have GLIDR Co, their website, in the description, along with a URL to their Instagram page. By far one of my favorite trainers so far that I've ever tried. Although someday I expect to get a Svix Co, Zephyr, and Gale, and I've heard amazing things about those, so I think this isn't very long in the running for favorite trainer. So yeah, this was IB Knives secondhand review. and thank you for watching.